So it's time now. It is currently 8 p.m. here in Nigeria.
Yes, yes. And I just hit record. Let's see. We are good. And if everyone who's on, if you don't mind, just so that we can, with the bandwidth, if everyone can turn their camera off, and that will help so that the streaming is better. Let's see. Okay, one camera on. Sorry, Dan, I had to turn your camera off. All right, all right. I am ready. I know Golden invited me on. And so that I can answer some questions about marketing and the way that I market and some other things. And I'm super, super excited to be here. Golden, are you there? Golden, are you there? It looks like we might have lost Golden. So let me ask you all a question, just so I know what level of marketing you all are at and what I need to answer for you guys. What type of questions do you have regarding, I know you do a lot of organic. Golden was telling me that you do a lot of organic marketing. Also, when you come in, if you can go ahead and turn your camera on. Thank you. Hear your sound again. Hey, Karen. I'm gonna make you the co-host. If anybody comes in and on for the sound enough, if you can turn it off for me, that would be awesome. Awesome. All right, cool. So in the chat, first of all, let me tell you a little bit about me. All right. I'm gonna turn my video on because I think it'll be okay. If for some reason you are not hearing me correctly, I want you to go ahead and type in the chat that you can't hear me. If you can hear me, I want you to go ahead and type in the chat that you can hear me so that I know what's going on your side of the Zoom, okay? But I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Allison. A lot of people in the marketing world know me as Pasha, and they call me the Samurai. All right, I actually started marketing because I was a musician, I was a songwriter, and I was actually doing very well writing songs for other artists. I actually helped artists get major placements. When I was living in Atlanta, I had a songwriting legend as a music mentor. But one thing that I noticed was as I was getting all of these people signed, and I had 12 major placements. None of them actually got on the radio because of my message. My message was so much about love, and they just all got shelved. And so I said, you know what? I would like to be able to make, a recurring income, because that's what happens when you have a song that goes on the radio. Every time it gets spins, you actually make money. But it wasn't happening for me. So I said, I need to stop depending on these record labels and other artists for my recurring income. I need to figure out how to market it myself so that I don't have to depend on them anymore. So I started the journey to learn how to market on my own, because I don't like being dependent on anyone. I really don't. So what I first did is I went online and I said, you know what? My mother used to be the Mary Kay lady growing up, so I knew about network marketing. And I knew that the people in network marketing, well, if you're in the right team, the people in network marketing teach their teammates what they know. So I decided I'm going to actually look for people that have the skills that I want to learn, and then I can just join their team and just pay whatever auto ship it was, was usually like, nothing big, and then I could learn from them, right? And so that was actually my whole goal with network marketing. It wasn't to make a bunch of money. It wasn't any of that. I was using it as my college. Pretty much. To me, it was like the least expensive college that you could possibly go to. You pay $30 or $40 auto ship a month, and you can learn hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of information. Okay. And so that's what I did. And the first person that I learned from, it was pretty magical. I learned attraction marketing. And attraction marketing is something that they actually use to, what do you call it? To elect government. When there's election time, they're actually using attraction marketing to get you to vote for people. All right. Your biggest artists, they're using attraction marketing every time that they're posting pictures of them on vacation. They're posting pictures of them doing just whatever in their life, because what they're doing is they're selling you on them. Okay. They're not selling you on their product, but they're selling you on them. And I love that. Okay. Because if you can sell somebody on you, then you'll always have an audience to sell to. See, the other thing I learned about network marketing was that the companies, if something happens with the company, if let's say the owner just decides to be a butthead and they do something that totally messes up the company name, if I am going out and I'm just constantly saying, ooh, this company, this is what I represent, when that owner does what they do, it messes up my name too. Dan, can you turn your mic off, bro? Thank you. So what I did, and I love about attraction marketing, is I don't necessarily go out and say, hey, this is this company that I am representing. I say, hey, this is who I am. This is the skills that I have. This is why you should follow me. And then what happens is people see what it is that I'm doing, and then they come to me and they ask me, hey, what do you sell? And I realized something. I realized that when someone actually comes to me and they ask me what I sell, for them to even come to me and say that, they're already sold.
So I have no choice going out.
They're already sold. And so I came up with a method to basically go on social media, attract the audience that was just like me, and get them to ask me what it is that I do. And it worked amazingly. One company, I was able to actually put 100 people in within 7 days. And every company that I joined, I was able to do that. But the thing about it was this. I love the attraction marketing. I love the network marketing. But what was happening was I was creating a name for myself, and I was creating so much traffic that I was getting burnt out. Okay. I was getting burnt out because I had so many people asking me what I do, and I had to continually be on phone calls, continually all day long, talking to teammates, trying to fix problems. And then I did not have a life myself. All right. And we get into these businesses to have a life for ourselves. And so that's when I decided, you know what? I enjoyed my network marketing college. I want to learn some automation now. And so what I did was, I don't know if you all know about a guy named Russell Brunson, but I decided, you know what? I'm going to read his book, and I'm going to figure out how these other marketers are able to automate their business so that they're making all types of sales while they're at the beach. And they're not talking to people all day long. They're not on phone calls all day long. That was important to me because time freedom is super, super, super important, right? So here's what I did. And I think we got Golden back. So after this introduction, I'm gonna let Golden come back on, and then he can ask me some of the things that he wants to ask. But what I did was I sat in this group. See, Russell Brunson, my thing is I like to reverse engineer everything. I'm constantly learning from everything around me. All right. And one of the things in Russell Brunson's book that he said was, if you want to be an expert and you want to be an authority on something, then you go into these social media groups and give advice for free. And then people will start following you. It's actually, he was basically teaching attraction marketing because that's what it is. That is part of it, right? But I reverse engineered that and I said, well, if he's teaching that you go into groups and you give free advice, then I bet if I stay in his group, because he had like over 400,000 entrepreneurs in that group, I bet if I stay in his group, someone will come in that has the exact thing that I'm looking for and they'll give free advice. And I waited and I waited and I waited about a year. And then it happened. This guy came into the group and he posted. The first time he posted, I remember it, and it was just like he made like $50,000 in a week from an automated webinar. And I was like, okay, cool. That didn't really get my attention too much. And then the next week, he said he made $100,000 from that same automated webinar. And I went, interesting. I'm not going to give it too much credence yet, but let's watch and see. And then the next week, $100,000. The next week, $100,000. Within a few months, he had already made 7 figures from one webinar. And I was like, okay, he knows exactly what it is that I've been looking for. And what did I do? I signed up for his webinar. And not only did I sign up for his webinar, because again, I reverse engineer everything. I looked at how he was selling. I looked at what he did in the group, how he showed his results, and then put the link to his webinar. I looked at all of his email sequences that he sent me. I looked at how his webinar was set up. I looked at the email sequences he sent afterward. And the project that I was working on, I basically, what's called funnel hacking. I took the concepts that he did to sell me and I applied them to my project. And what happened when I actually pressed go on my project after funnel hacking him, instantly that same day, $20,000 spit out. And I was just like, whoa!
Allison, I think I am back now. I think I'm back now.
Woohoo! Golden is back. Yay!
Yeah, the network is really terrible down here. I don't know. I'm really having network issues and I've been trying my best to get to a better network location. Well, I think the network is back now, but I may not turn on the video so it doesn't cut me off again. Okay?
Yes, that's perfect. That is perfect.
All right.
So yeah, I think I'm actually at a good point. People know
Okay.
a little bit about me.
All right.
And take it away, Golden. What questions did you have for me? Okay, I'm hearing that from some of those who are on that Zoom is acting up, and so.
Yeah,
Well, you know what?
it's really
This
acting up
type of
now.
thing happens when you put
And
so much energy in on one call.
um,
All right, cool. So you there? No? Yeah? Because if not, I will continue rambling. All right, so some people say they can't hear. All right, Karen says better now. Golden, are you there? And I think Golden just dropped off again. So I'll continue my story. Can you all hear me? Type Y in the chat if you can hear me, and then I will continue. Can no one hear me? All right, cool. Amara
all
can hear me.
right. So,
All right,
can you
cool.
hear
We're
me?
getting that people can hear me now. Golden, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but the network is really glitching over here, and I'm doing
Okay.
all I can to get. I'm doing all I can now to get a better coverage. I'm doing all I can, but it seems.
It's all right. This is what I think might be good if I'll just keep on going. And
All right.
and then if anybody has any questions, just ask in the chat, and then I'll answer those questions. Does that work?
All right. You can just keep on going, and when it's better, I'll let you know.
Okay, awesome. All right, so someone just said the network's bad, but we'll make do. Cool. So $20,000, just like that. Boom. And I'm dancing around my house. It was so cool. And so what I decided to do was this. I decided, you know what? This was cool. I did this. But what I want to do is I wanted to thank the person that I funnel hacked. So I bought his course. And it was so cool because in buying his course, I learned even more things. I learned how to retarget
Okay.
with ads. And when I started doing that, even more money was coming in. And I got to the point where he in the group, he just asked, he was like, how many people have hit like over $50,000 a month? And I was just like, I don't really think about money when I'm doing stuff. My goal is always something else. So I decided to look. And when I looked, my Stripe account
Okay.
for the month before said $60,000. And I was just like, what? I did that? And he gave me an award and everything, which was really cool. And it was right after I got that award that something happened that kind of switched some gears in me. And I remembered something. And I remembered the whole reason why I even started marketing. Because sometimes when you get into the thing that you are doing, where you're learning, sometimes you can forget why you even started learning that, right? And I remember it. I learned this to get back to my music. And so I instantly said, I have all these clients. It's like going to be impossible for me to do my music and to do the things that I actually want to do with all of these clients. And so what I did next, which most people just think is weird, is I actually cut all the clients off. And I called them up and I said, hey, you know what? I actually have some other goals. And so this is what I want to do for you. Instead of you paying me the amount of money you're paying me every month, I am actually going to give you the blueprint for your next launches for free. And when you launch, just give me whatever you want. And I cut all of them off. And then I sold everything I owned and started traveling around the country to kind of get a better grasp on myself more. Because I had been away from my true love, which was music, for so long that I had to get back to myself. And so for the last 2 years, I'd actually been traveling around the country. And this is something interesting happened. Someone asked me to perform one of my songs at one of their festivals. And that was the first time I'd ever actually done one of my songs myself, because I was so used to giving them away to other people. And when I performed, I had the biggest burst of energy that I have ever had in my life. And I just knew, oh my God, I knew I loved music. I knew I loved writing for other people. But I didn't realize how much I enjoyed performing for people myself. And the crazy thing that happened is I then instantly went to do another festival. It was actually a festival that I was putting on. And right after that festival, something else magical happened. I was taken to the Ozarks. And I don't know if you know what the Ozarks here are in America, but I'm actually here now. But when I got to the Ozarks, I was taken directly to a Native American medicine man. And he showed me some things that I had never seen before. His whole goal in life, and his mission had been, and this is where it kind of comes, it ties into what is going on in the world right now. And this is why I feel like everything is just completely aligned, and it brings chills up my spine when I think about what's happening right now and what happened to me then. But his mission in life was to create something so that if a plague had ever hit the earth, if a plague had ever come, like the Spanish plague did 100 years ago, and plagues did, hundreds of years ago, he had been working on something so that if that ever happened again, there was a supplement that was made completely natural from the earth that someone could take, and their immune system could withstand it completely, and their immune system would be pretty much invincible to it. All right. Now, the funny thing about this is this. 5 years before I was brought to him, he had already come up with this thing. All right. And it was actually from a Native American mushroom that the Native Americans had been taking for eons. And what happened was, when the government came and gave free health care to the Native Americans actually stopped taking it. And so when he found out about it, only 5 Native Americans knew about this mushroom. And when he found it, he was ecstatic, okay? This mushroom, he's done tests. He did a whole bunch of tests. And it has been proven that within 20 hours of taking it, it improves the human immune system by 4,000% at the least. It's usually much more, okay? And so when he started working with this, and he started getting it out to people, because his main goal was to just get it out to people so that people could get healed up. He started getting testimonials of people who had stage 4 cancer, and they were within 4 months, their cancer was in remission. He started getting testimonials of people being completely cured of things like HIV, of malaria, within 4 months. Every single thing within 4 months. This mushroom was completely going inside and taking care of their immune system, so that their immune system itself was healing their body, because our bodies are supposed to heal themselves. And so what happened is this: when he started getting all these testimonials, a huge American corporation came and saw it, and they did a hostile takeover of his company, and they made it so that he was not able to sell that mushroom for 5 years. And this is where it gets really interesting, because when I came, after selling everything, no batting, not really knowing where I was going, I was brought right to him the week that 5-year period. That's just so weird. That's so wild to me. You know, he gets a marketer the week that the 5-year period. And so I started taking it, and I was seeing so much improvements in my own health. My friends started taking it, and I felt like this was something that people needed to know about. And here's the thing that happened, though. So the thing that happened is, as I'm telling people about it, I'm trying to tell all my marketing friends, I'm trying to tell everybody about it. And you want to know what happened? They didn't believe me. They wouldn't believe that it worked. They wouldn't even try it. And I'm going, why won't you try it? Because people have been so used to hearing that nothing can be cured. And I'm telling you this story, not saying that something's going to come and cure you. But what I'm saying is, this particular thing has reversed everything it's been tried on. So I won't say the word cure, but it has reversed everything. And you want to know why? Why it reverses it, and why people didn't believe me? They didn't believe me because they didn't know how the immune system actually worked. Okay? How many of you all know how the immune system actually works? Do you know? Seriously, in the comments, if you know how the immune system actually works, press 1. If you don't know, be honest and press 2. Okay.
So am I listening? I think I'm back now.
Awesome.
Now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna finish this little part, and then we'll do like a question and answer after, just in case it goes back out again. And so, because they didn't know how it worked, this is what I did. I worked with that Native American medicine man, and I started asking him a bunch of questions as to how the immune system even works, because he has so much knowledge on it. And he gave me all the information. And did you know that your immune system was actually made so that it could heal itself of everything? One of the other things that I found out was that vaccines, everyone's, oh, you got to take this vaccine for that. And while, yes, vaccines can work for keeping your body away from the specific things that vaccine is taken for, I learned that vaccines actually narrow the human immune system. How? Well, think about it. You're giving the immune system, you're giving the body a specific thing, and you're telling the immune system, only look for these things. Only look for the things that a vaccine has been given for. So now your immune system is only creating an army to safeguard you from those things. But then when something that they call a novel virus shows up, your immune system isn't looking for it. So what happens? It goes in and does damage. But if we allowed our immune system to do what it was supposed to do without narrowing it, and we just modulated it, and I know a lot of people right now are saying we need to boost our immune systems. Well, some people do need theirs boosted. But here's the problem with only boosting it. When you boost too much, it creates autoimmune diseases, which then makes your body attack itself because it's too boosted. It's attacking everything. All right? We don't want that. We want it modulated, okay? So that if it's too boosted, it comes back down. If it's not boosted enough, it goes up and it stays and it's modulating. And when your immune system is modulated, do you want to know what happens? Anything that's harmful that comes your way, your immune system blocks it. That's what we want. And that's what this mushroom does. This mushroom blocks, it modulates. It doesn't block anything. It modulates your immune system. Okay? So it's not curing anything. It's making your immune system do what it's supposed to do. Your immune system is healing yourself because that's what it's supposed to do. And so I actually, when I was with him, I actually wrote an ebook because I was like, people need to know this. And you want to know how many people wanted to read it? None, because nobody cared about how their immune system is until right now. With the things that we have going on right now, people are really interested in the immune system. And so I do have that ebook. But let me tell you a little bit more about what this mushroom does, okay? So what it does, as it modulates your immune system, your body, it's actually supposed to recreate itself. Every cell in your body, every organ in your body gets recreated every 7 years. All right? Now, what this mushroom does.
Every 7 years.
Yes, wow. Every 7 years. Now, what this mushroom does is if your body, let's say you have diabetes, which is an ailment of the kidneys. What this mushroom does is it goes and it tells your body to create more workers to recreate your kidneys faster. So if you have brand new kidneys, is diabetes there anymore?
Wow.
No.
That's
if you have
awesome.
cancer
Wow.
in your lungs and your lungs are completely recreated, is cancer there anymore? No. If you have a respiratory illness that most people are having right now, and everything in your respiratory is recreated, is it there anymore? No.
So I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
The effectiveness of this mushroom, does it have a time frame, like from when you take it inside the body to when it starts producing effects? Is there a time frame to it?
Yes, actually. So within 20 hours of taking it, it's going to improve your immune system by 4,000%.
20 hours.
That's at the least. Now, the other time frames that I can give you is just basically by by the testimonials of the people who have taken it. The medicine man who actually showed it to my medicine man, he had stage 4 cancer when he found it. And he was told that he only had 3 weeks left to live. And he started taking it.
Wow.
And within 4 months, within 4 months, he did not have cancer anymore. And every single illness that people take it, within 4 months, they have not had that illness anymore. So that's just the results that we've had, okay? And something else that I should say, because of my intense desire and my knowledge of working with him, and then also even before that, because I actually work with using song and music to actually heal my own body and my own anxiety. I was actually adopted as a Native American medicine woman last year also. So that's why I'm speaking to you on this. So yeah, 4 months. And that's actually what when he gives it out, he actually tells people, look, if you're not healed up in 4 months, I'll give y'all your money back. That's what he tells people. But here's the other cool thing about this. And this is what really made me go, ooh. So did you know that once your immune system is modulated and all of your organs are back to the state that they're supposed to be in, this mushroom now goes into your bone marrow. And what it does is it starts to activate the adult stem cells in your bone marrow. And I don't know if you know about stem cells, because there's been a lot of science, exciting science about that. But once it activates your adult stem cells, it starts to reverse the aging process. So you start to look younger. You just reverses the aging process. And when I found that out, I was just like, what? This little mushroom is powerful. And so that's like kind of my mission right now is I'm doing my music, okay? Oh, don't think I forgot that. No, I'm doing my music, but I also feel like there's a need, especially right now, to show people that there is another option that is completely natural, that was made for us so that our immune systems could be modulated. And basically, I like to say, I have an invincible immune system. Nothing, whether it is something that is known or unknown or what they want to call novel, nothing is harming me. And I want more people to be able to say that too, but that means that more people have to know. And the thing about it is this mushroom, most people don't know about it because, again, when we found it, only 5 people knew. So now you all know. Now, how exciting is that? Y'all are in the know. The majority of the world has no clue thing even exists. The majority of the world right now is in so much fear. And then let me tell you about fear. Fear lowers the immune system. Have you ever noticed that people, when they'll go to the doctor and then they'll get told that they have cancer, and even though they seemed healthy before they got the news, within months they're dead? Why is that? Because now that they know that fear goes in and it lowers your immune system to it. So one of the other things that I like to tell people is, don't be fearful.
All right.
Not being fearful
So
is your first defense toward any disease. When you don't fear a disease, your body eliminates it. It might come in, but your body will eliminate it. And what does elimination look like? See, this is where you actually start to see where you've been taught backwards. Okay? Most people think that being sick is when you're throwing up, you got diarrhea, you know, there's stuff coming out your nose. They think that's being sick. But think about what's happening. Your body is eliminating the bad stuff. Your body is getting rid of the bad stuff. So does it make sense to take something to keep that bad stuff in? No, it doesn't. It's backwards. That's making you more sick. That is making you sick because now you're keeping it in. A healthy immune system, and when I say this, a lot of you are going to realize that you actually have a healthier immune system than you thought you did. Because all those times that you thought you were sick, you weren't. Your body was eliminating the sickness. People, when they're really sick and their immune system really doesn't work well, those are the people who they're just going about their day and they just drop dead because their body did nothing to stop the illness inside of them. So I just want you to think about that. We need to reverse the way we think about our health. We need to reverse the way we think about our immune system. We need to reverse almost everything we've been taught.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I really like the whole, all the information you just giving to us tonight. I mean, they are so valuable, especially to our health. And we are so grateful for all this information, Allison. Thank you very much.
Well, I appreciate you for inviting me on. If anybody has any questions, please type them in the chat. I also have access to that ebook that I wrote. I will type it in the chat. You can actually go to info.soulsobi.com. I'll type it in the chat so that you can, or can I type it in the chat?
So I have a few questions here for you.
You have questions for me?
Yes. The thing is, the majority of the people that will be listening and will be watching these videos are those who are mainly startups, those who are either about starting their businesses, those who just started their businesses. So I want you to just share with us during your startup times. How was the journey during your startup times? What are the right mindsets? Do you encourage those of us watching to maintain that? Because from your experiences, it's really clear that you are really successful in your online business. You've been in this space for over 5 years now, if I'm not mistaken. So during those start of times, what are the right mindsets, the right behaviors do you encourage those of us watching to have and to sustain?
Oh, yeah, great question. So the right mindsets for when you're first starting off.
Yeah.
Number one, I know this is going to sound weird, but I do things what most people consider backwards. I try to fail as much as possible. I try to fail as much as possible on purpose. And why is that? Because I already know if I'm brand new, I'm gonna fail anyway, and I don't want to feel bad about it. So if I do it on purpose, it's okay. But every time you fail, you learn something. And the funny thing is that sometimes you can try to fail and you'll actually succeed. I remember a very, 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 very what's the word I'm trying to think of? Successful entrepreneur saying that basically, you want to fail as much as possible, because that is how you learn. And then the other thing is, because you're not really failing, you're just trying stuff.
Yeah.
I like to
Yeah.
call it testing. I'm testing different things to see
Yeah.
what works. Most people, a lot of
Yeah.
people, they go into something and they're just like, oh, this one thing, I know this is gonna work. I'm gonna do all this and I just know it's gonna work. And then when it doesn't work, they just completely quit because they're so heartbroken that it didn't work. Well, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna try it with all my heart. But if it doesn't work, then I know, okay, that just wasn't the way. Let's just do something else. And I'm gonna keep doing things until it hits. The other thing that I would say, as far as mindset, is do everything. A lot of people come into the online marketing and having a business for themselves, and they don't really treat it like a business. One of the reasons why when you go to
Okay.
a job, they have it the way that it is, they have it scheduled out, they have it all organized. Look, you got to do this at this time, this at this time, this at this time, is because that works. It works. So do your business the exact same way. I used to actually write out a schedule. I always have whiteboards so that I can just write. When I have an idea, I can just write on there and then I can erase it when I want to. But I actually would write out every single hour what I was going to be doing. 1 hour I do like from 9 a.m. to 10. I'm going on Facebook and I'm commenting on as many people's posts as I can. From 10 to 11, I'm writing emails. From 11 to 11:30 or
Wow.
11:12, I'm having lunch. From 12 to
Wow.
12:30, I'm dancing in my apartment and just having fun. From 12:30 to 1, I'm checking Facebook messages again. Like, I actually had every single thing, every single hour, including fun stuff, scheduled,
Wow.
just like a job.
Wow. Cool.
So that's what I would say: organization, and don't be afraid to fail. In fact, do it
Cool.
on purpose.
Cool. Thank you, Allison. The second question I have here is, how do you sustain, like, you are skillful in different things. You're into music, you're into digital marketing, you're into and a whole load more of other things. Now, how do you sustain all these niches and still remain balanced? Because you're passionate about all these things. Now, as a startup, there are some businesses there are some business people that their passions are currently divided. They have passion for this, they have passion for this, they have passion for this, and they are kind of like trying to sustain or to sustain momentum in these things. Now, what can you say to them? What can you tell them? What one piece of advice do you have for them?
All right, for someone who's like me that has a lot of different passions, well, one
Yeah.
of the things is that schedule. That schedule helps, because having a specific schedule of, hey, this is when I'm going to do my music, and then it allows me to be in the right frame of mind to know, okay, look, 10 to 11, I'm doing music. I'm not doing marketing. I'm doing music. Shut everything down. My phone is off. I'm not talking to people. I'm focused on that. And then having another schedule, like, where it's okay, now this is for my marketing. I'm going to build some funnels. I'm going to do some ads at this particular time. The other thing is, all of my passions, what I like to do is, um, when I'm working on something, I have a lot of moving pieces, but they're almost all
Okay.
fit into one project.
Okay.
So what I do with my marketing, like right now, I actually have a nonprofit organization. I have a marketing course. I'm building funnels. I'm doing my music. It all seems like they're all completely different, but I'm using the marketing course to teach people what I do, so that they can help me with my nonprofit and to help me market my music. I'm using my music to create music for the products that I'm marketing. I put everything so that all of my passions, even though they seem like they're separate, they're all working together for the same goal.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thank you very much, Allison.
Yes, yes.
Now we're talking about funnels. The word sounds new to some of us that may be watching this recording. So what can you say about funnels and what impact does it have in our online marketing?
Funnels have an extreme impact. funnels funnels help me be able to do what I was able to do when I was able to turn that marketing system on and just $20,000 just come through. Funnels keep people, as they're going through their funnel, they keep them focused on what it is that you're trying to get to them. Okay. And so how I use funnels is I use funnels in a way so that it's easier for my audience to be able to get to what it is that they need. I know a lot of marketers, they kind of use funnels in a more selfish way, where it's like, oh well, I want them to buy my product, so I'm only going to give them a specific amount of choices, and all those choices just lead to exactly what I want them to get. And I'm kind of different, because I actually will build funnels, like, you know, my ebooks and things like that. I actually have funnels where people can actually read it online without opting in, and then they can also opt in and download it themselves. And now why I do that is, number one, I don't want to bind anybody. I don't want to say, hey, you have to give me your information for me to give you information, because when you bind somebody, you also bind yourself. But what also happens is this: if someone does decide that even though they could get my information without giving me their information, if they do decide to give me their information, that also shows me that that's actually a higher quality lead. And so I use my funnels as, it's almost like in my head, I see it as a maze. It's like I'm qualifying people for the next step. So I use ads and funnels as a qualification to the next step. And then at the end, you can actually get to me and speak to me. But if you don't make it to the end, no.
I think we have a question here from Victor. He asked, how did you promote your music career via marketing? That is from Victor.
Victor.
Yeah, your music career. Yeah.
Yeah, so promoting my music career and marketing, that has been one of the most exciting things for me, because again, that is my number one passion, is my music. And so this is something cool that really happened right before I started nomading. I had just gotten that award, and another student came to me, and they were just like, look, I want you to help me with this course I'm putting together. I've come up with this really cool way to help artists be able to get millions of streams on their music videos for a ridiculously low amount of ad spend. And he just gave me the training. And I was just like, and that's actually what reminded me of why I started marketing, because I had forgot for a minute. And when he gave me the training, that was the exact thing that I needed and that I was looking for, but all those years back, I went, oh my God, I started it for this, and look, it's right here. And I started using that. And I actually had to make some modifications to what he did. And I'm always modifying things and making improvements. But I was able to see where it worked really well making music videos. I actually have some videographers all over the world that are helping me make music videos. And
Wow, there are more questions coming in. Are you more questions coming in? The first question is it was directed to the mushroom. The person asked that does the mushroom work for bipolar disorder? The mushroom, does it work for bipolar disorder? So you're going to see that. Someone else is asking, person asked that she just started marketing. What are the first steps to getting it right? Now, the last question here is centered towards network marketing.
all right, let me do the first one and then remind me of the next ones afterward. So the first one was about the mushroom, right? Okay. So the mushroom, as far as bipolar. All right. So I have a different view of bipolar than most. My father bipolar, my aunts were bipolar, my best friend bipolar, and one thing that I've actually seen that has actually helped all of them, because they say that bipolar is a chemical imbalance, right? But they don't tell you what chemical is off, right? They just say it's a chemical imbalance. They're not telling you what chemical is off. So when you think about it, that means that there's something that you can be putting in your body to modulate it. Now, I personally don't necessarily know if the mushroom has been used for that, but when I reverse engineer how it works and what it does, and the fact that it recreates anything that's not at its full function, I would believe that it would. I would believe that it would. The other thing that does help, though, also is diet. A lot of people also with bipolar, I have seen that's helped is, you actually have receptors, cannabinoid receptors in your brain. And most of our diets, we're actually not getting the cannabinoids to that those receptors need. And so things like CBD, I don't know if you've heard of CBD and things like that. I've actually seen where that has helped, and think about it, a chemical imbalance, and you have cannabinoid receptors in your brain that you're not getting cannabinoids for. Could that be the chemical that's not balanced? I don't know, but I mean, it seems right. So things like CBD, I would definitely think that the mushroom would help because of what it does. But I do know that I've seen people changing their diet, taking CBD, and they're fine. And I know there was another question. Let me look here. So the next question. All right, how do you start?
Says, how did you start your marketing? That is your first time in marketing. How did you go about all of that?
Well, first off in marketing, that's when I used, I went online and with everything that I do, I always look for the people who are the best in what they do, and I follow them and I get them to teach me. And so that's what I used network marketing for when I first got online, was I was looking for the best network marketers that actually knew the things that I wanted to learn. And I joined their team and they taught me. because that's what you do. And so I actually use network marketing like a marketing college. The least expensive marketing college there is. You just buy a product once a month and you can learn all types of knowledge. So that's what I did to get started.
All right. So the next question here says, I have just joined network marketing business that I need to grow on Facebook. This is completely new to me. I need to grow.
All right. So you broke up a little bit, Golden, but I'm actually looking here at the chat. I think it was the
Start looking for where to start. Okay. So, okay. I think the networking. Okay. So, what are your words to the first timers, the newbies to network marketing, those who are just starting their network marketing career or business? What can you tell them? Because this question is really this person happens to be a first timer. She just joined her network marketing business and she's trying to grow it using Facebook.
All right. Awesome. So using Facebook, that's my jam. I love doing that. It's really easy. I mean, Facebook makes network marketing really easy when you know how to use it right. Okay. So number one, first you have to figure out what product are you selling and who's the target audience for that product. I don't sell to people who don't already want what I have. Okay. So a lot of network marketing, me personally, like I've seen that a lot of in network marketing, when you first start off, they tell you to, write down a list of, your friends and your family and all that and show it to them, which you can. That's cool. I have a different way that I do that, which I can tell you later. But majority of them usually don't want what I'm selling. So I don't necessarily go to them. If I do go to my family and friends, it's like this. I go to them and I say, hey, look, I found something that's really cool and I'm going to be selling it. And I just wanted you to know that I'm selling it. That way, if you're interested, you can be a part of this. But if you're not, that's cool. I'm only telling you this so that if I blow up and I'm making a whole lot of money, you're not mad at me later. And that's what I say to my friends and family. And that is it. If they say no, cool. Let's go out and have some coffee, because I'm not about to mess up my relationship with my friends and family over some money. But what happens is this, because I let them know, now they are watching me. So if I do blow up, they'll probably join me later, right? But I'm not going to pressure anybody. But what I will do is I'll go on Facebook and I'll actually find people who are already interested in that. So let's say you were selling, well, I already mentioned like a health product. Let's say if it was CBD or something like that. All right. Who is interested in that? Who needs that? I write down the type of people who need that. Okay. The type of people who need my product. And then I think about it and I say, where do those people hang out online? If it's a product that is for health and it's like a specific disease that many people have, I might look up the hospitals that treat that the most and kind of see, what people are saying on their page. The other thing that I'll do is I'll look up public figures that also have that illness. Why?
Cool.
Because if I have a specific illness and there's somebody that's really popular that has it too, I'm usually going to be following them.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll actually go and I put myself where my target audience is. And then when that public figure starts posting, I'm making sure that I'm commenting on every one of their posts. I'm commenting on every single one of them.
Oh.
And when people are commenting after me, I'm engaging with those people. Hey, I'm not trying to sell them on anything. I'm just being me. I'm being nice. And I'm saying the first thing that comes to my head. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's inspirational. Sometimes it's really silly. But what happens is this, because I say the first thing that pops to my head, it's truly and purely me, right? I'm being myself completely. And what happens is the people who resonate with that, the people who like my comment, because I feel like every comment on Facebook is a business card. So every time I comment, I'm placing business cards. The people who resonate with my comment, usually, what are they going to do? They're going to check my Facebook page out. So I make sure that my Facebook page looks like someone that they actually want to friend request. And so I noticed that I'll actually get specific friend requests from people. And because they're friend requesting me based off of me being myself, usually that person is very similar to me. So we have something in common. So that's kind of how I get started, is making sure that me personally, I don't sell to people who I don't have common ground with, because
Cool.
I don't know how to sell to people who I don't have common ground with, but I know how to sell to myself because I know why I buy. So why not only attract people who are like me? If everyone attracts people who are like them, then they never run out of customers that they could sell to. So that's how I start.
Thank you very much, Allison, for that one.
You're welcome.
Now, talking about sales, I think this question dropped earlier today, but I forgot to put it down. Talking about sales, the person was like, he really doesn't know how to close a sale. More like when the customer or the client comes and inquires about his service, and after the conversation, they just say, I'll get back to you, and that's the end. Now, how can one actually attract sales, convert the person, and close? I hope you got the question clearly.
Yes, I did.
Good.
How do you attract the sale, close them, and not have them saying, "Oh, I'll think about it," right? So me personally, I think about it. No one really necessarily has to think about something. If they really want. If you really want something, you don't have to think about it, right?
Yeah.
So in my mind, if somebody has to think about something, then that means that they either are they're either confused or they don't trust me, the product, or the company. So what I say when people say I have to think, well, I don't actually get that much because of how I market.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you how I do that. But when I did used to sell in that specific way, when people did say that, I would say, do you really have to think about it, or do you just not want it and you're not trying to hurt my feelings? Because most people think that closing someone is getting a yes and a sale. No, that's not closing someone. Closing someone is getting a yes or a no. I just want to know yes or no so I can keep moving. So closing someone is getting yes or no. So I'm going to get yes or no. I'll think about it is not yes or no. So are you just saying that not to hurt my feelings? Or do you really have to think about it? And then usually they'll be like, well, I don't really want it. Okay, cool. That's cool. We can still be friends. Now I don't have to worry about it. And now I can keep on moving. Or if they say, yeah, I got to think about it, then that means, all right, so it's not that they don't want it. It means that there's information that they need that they don't have. So I'll ask them, well, since you have to think about it, tell me this. Majority of the time when people say they have to think about it, it's usually because they either have a question about me, the product or the company? Which one is it for you?
Cool.
And usually they'll tell you, well, I'm not so sure about the product. You know, why is it this price? Because a lot of times they just don't want to ask questions. So you got to pull it out. And
Yeah.
once you can clarify those three things, you get your yes or no. Because closing
Cool.
is yes or no.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that one, Alison.
You're welcome.
So, I have my personal question to ask you.
Hmm.
What one single act has given you your highest breakthrough in your online marketing? Like, what is that thing that you've done or that you did that gave you your highest breakthrough in your online marketing?
Let's see. The highest breakthrough, oh, I can tell you. Um, so the first month that I hit that 50K award,
Okay.
I actually, in that month, I decided that I was actually going to send emails out to my email list. And instead of sending one a day, I sent 3 a day. And I was just like, just going in. I did like all this market research to see what it is people wanted. And that I was about to launch a specific product. And so I was sending out 3 emails a day. I was working probably 20 hours a day, building funnels and sending out 3 emails a day. And when we
Wow.
actually did our launch, um, and literally my business partners were crying at what happened because when we did our launch, we sold out of our product and made $30,000 within 5 minutes. And
Wow.
the people that bought, they actually said, "Man, those emails I was
Wow.
getting all the time, they really hyped me up. Those emails
Wow.
I'm just like, oh snap!" So yeah, I would just say like, if you do email marketing, like make sure that you're really focused on doing it. And one email a day is cool, but if and that's the other thing. When I was doing 3 emails a day, it wasn't like, "Hey, buy my stuff" emails. It was like, "Hey, guess what I did today? I went out and I played here, and I was on a playground, and I made some sales, and you can do this too." I was like telling people about myself and being funny, and writing emails in a way that it wasn't all salesy, but it was just like them getting to know me and stuff like that. So I would say the biggest thing, even if you don't do emails, is don't always be trying to sell.
Cool.
Get
Yeah.
people to know you. Like tell people
Yeah.
about like literally tell people
Yeah.
about the silliest things that you did that day. Because
Yeah.
your target audience, especially if you're attracting people who are just like you, they're gonna be like, "Oh, he does that too? Oh, she does that too?
Yeah.
That's awesome." And that actually brings that forms that bond, because to be able to sell and bring in that amount of money that fast, that means you have to have built trust.
Sure. Yeah.
And the best way to build trust is to show that there's common ground, and also
Mm,
being vulnerable with that common ground. So
mm.
help show your vulnerability to your customers, and your customers are going to go, "Oh man, they've been through the same thing that I went through." Now you're like creating, I don't even say customers, they're like friends.
Yeah.
They feel like you're their friend.
Mm. Wow. That was a nice one, Alison. I am so grateful for all you've done here for us tonight. You see,
Thank you.
these information are actually valuable. They are valuable. And I believe if all these things you've told us can be put into practice, we are really going to get the best out of our businesses. Thank you very much, Alison.
Thank
So,
you.
before we call this a day, what are your final words to us? the viewers watching, what are your final words to us? Words of encouragement. What are your final words to us?
Final words I would say is never stop working towards your passion.
Wow.
Your passion is the most important. If you can figure out a way, actually no, I won't even say that. If you are always working towards your passion and not even working toward, because some people will be like monetize your passion. You don't have
Mm,
to have the intent of monetizing your passion. If you're working on your
mm,
passion, it will monetize itself.
mm. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you very much, Allison. That was a nice one there.
Thank you. Oh,
So
also get the ebook
okay.
so that when you're doing your passion, your immune system is fighting off stuff. Look, Karen, could you put the link to the ebook in the chat so that people can actually get to that? I would appreciate it because for some reason, it's not allowing me to.
Okay, let me see if I can do that now. Okay, so they can still drop their questions while I get the link to the ebook. Okay,
Let me.
everyone, if you have questions, you can still drop your questions while I get the link to the ebook now.
And actually, it's I think it's a different meeting than a different link than you have. Oh, I got it now.
Okay,
Info. Because I couldn't use the other one I sent you.
okay.
There we go. I just put it in there.
Have you sent it now?
Yes, I sent it. So that's the ebook. It actually talks about how your immune system actually works. And it
All
gives
right,
more information about the mushroom also.
cool. All right,
Awesome. I'm
Allison.
very excited to be here. This has been amazing.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the quality of knowledge you've given to us tonight. We really, really appreciate you. We are so, so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm
And
grateful for
we
you also.
we look forward to having you next time. Okay?
Yes, definitely.
All right.
All right. I
Have
will
a
see
great day.
you
Bye
later.
bye.
Bye.
Yeah.